Now we're going to look at the A tags. We have several of them to deal with. We're going to put in a generic look to start out with. If you see in our text, we have up here links. There's some links here. Both of those are navigation sorts of links. We have these top links, and then there's a email link in here. So we're going to go to the one that's used the most often is the one that's appearing as the links to top and here. The other ones are more navigation links, so we'll deal with those separately. But for our standard links, we're going to color them the 2E 4A54. We're going to go ahead and underline them. If you notice that there are underlines that we want to have in these, we want to keep those underlines in where it says top and also down where the email link is. The visited color is this, and we change color for the mouse over. So what's happened here is that we've now changed this one, they all changed. Now some of them are very hard to see right now because those backgrounds are going to be changed. These all changed as well. Every link just changed to what those definitions are. We'll deal with the navigation links separately. Now we want to look at unordered lists. And the unordered lists are used a few places here. First, they're used for the navigation. They're also used for this for these pictures, the thumbnails, and looks like that's about it. So we want to set some general style for those unordered lists. The easiest way to determine that is what lists am I using most often, and we'll base it on that. Now in this case, I'm using them in 3 different ways completely. So we're going to start out with UL with the font size 1.2 rem, line height 125, font weight 400, text line left, margin top 5 pixels, and margin bottom 20 pixels. And once we refresh that, we'll see that we've got these coming up in a nice size. It doesn't have any effect on the picture list, of course, because the pictures don't have font sizes. Where we're going again with this is we have up here and here. So we're really getting more in the size that we want it to go here. List items. We want to have a margin bottom of 10 pixels in those. And that's just going to push them apart. Whoops. Look at the other one. Just going to push them apart a little bit more. Okay. Now let's look at the HTML real quick. Up in the header, we have this nav element that is the unordered list inside this wrapper in the nav topper class. So working down from the top, which is the way I often like to work, we're going to deal with the nav topper first. Now keep in mind that we have the nav topper, then a wrapper, then content. It's going to be an important point as we do these. So we're turning the nav topper brown, giving it some padding at the top, floating it left, making it 100% wide with a margin of 0. And that's just giving me one great big line across. Technically I wouldn't have to float that, but I am floating what's inside of it, so I need to float it as well. Again, at the HTML. That's a nav topper. We have a wrapper and content, and then the UL. So let's talk about wrapper and content. The wrapper has the margin 0 auto, width of 80%, minimum width will only go down to 280 pixels, and it'll go up to 1,000 pixels. This basically is so that we don't have to change this wrapper as we make it more responsive. Content with the 100%, float left, position relative. So we have now indented these items. Notice that it did it for everything on the page, because everything on the page has content and wrapper. So everything just got indented.